Christianity, we don't usually talk much about enlightenment. When you think of the word enlightenment, you maybe think more of a Buddhist monk meditating or some New Age philosopher. Paul, however, does very much talk about the idea of enlightenment. God's grace enlightens us. The words of that great hymn, "Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see." The idea of our eyes being open to see things. To see what? To see Jesus. Ephesians 1 talks about the grace that God gives us to see wisdom and understanding. To see and understand the great purposes of God in Christ. To hear and comprehend the will of God and what He's doing throughout eternity. By grace, God redeems us and adopts us into His family. Then God's grace transforms us as we comprehend His will and purposes and plans, not just for my life, but the whole universe. Romans 12 talks about us being transformed by the renewing of our minds. One of the really important things that knowing Jesus does is that it gives us knowledge and understanding of the future. At the minute we're living in this world where the future is so uncertain, it's like living in a fog. Not sure of what we can do and when we can do it and how we'll be able to do it. Not even sure when we can leave the house and do normal things. There are many things that I don't know and that I don't understand, that no one seems to know or understand. But let us remember what we do know. I know what is to come. Christ will return. Evil will be destroyed. Resurrection will take place and God's people will be raised to live in a new heaven and a new earth forever with Him. All things will be brought under the rule of Christ. Paul is probably in prison when he writes these words to the Ephesians. But rather than seeing just the chains and the bars and the limitations and the failure and despair, his heart and mind have been enlightened. The curtains have been drawn back. And he sees and he knows a whole different world. He sees and knows who Christ is, that Jesus is Lord. He sees and understands that he is part of the saved people of God, blessed with every spiritual blessing. He sees the glorious future that is to come for those who are in Christ. And so may the light of God shine in your heart and in your mind in these days, and awaken and enlighten you to these great truths and this great hope that we have in Christ. We are enlightened.